Hi, and welcome to Front Row Review. Tonight I am going to be reviewing a movie called Zero Dark 30. Zero Dark 30. Need something to drink. Alright. You know, and coming up, and what they... Frodo! Quiet! Zero Dark 30. Now, when I heard about this film being made, I was pretty much skeptical about it. I was like, really? Do we really need a movie showing how Bin Laden was killed? But at the same time, you know, things like this really fascinated me about how the politics work and how the military works and how the operation went down and how it was all planned out and everything like that. So I remember when it very first happened, we were sitting on the couch in front of the TV, and my wife was on Twitter, and she told me something was going on. She said there was somebody posting things on Twitter about 2 helicopters flying right over where this guy lived. And then right after that, a helicopter exploded in this compound next to him. And then wasn't too long after that, everybody was saying that Bin Laden was dead. And it was all over Twitter. And then about an hour or so later, you know, the president came on.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama Bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
Need something to drink. You know, one of those you'll probably never forget where you were at the time it happened sort of moments. And pretty much right after that, the news came on and were telling you how the military operation went down. I mean, it wasn't even a day later or 2 days later. They had like graphs that would come up, and they were showing, and basically what they were showing right after it happened was a square compound, like when they landed, and there was basically like a building there. And from what I remember, supposedly the SEAL team kind of split into 2, and they went around the building and they met in front, and there was a door where Bin Laden apparently comes out of, and they shoot, I think, his wife, they said, first, and then they shot him in the head and killed him. Yeah, that's not what happened. According to this movie, it was a whole lot more to it than just that. All right, first of all, I didn't really want to go see this movie that much because it didn't, I mean, I kind of did and I kind of didn't at the same time. It's like like I said, I'm really interested in history and things like that of what would happen. But at the same time, I don't know, something about it didn't really appeal to me. And I started reading other people's reviews about how slow it is and how boring it is. And it's a crawl. And it's like, you know, nothing happens in the whole movie. And, well, I'm here to tell you that I absolutely loved the movie. From beginning to end, you know, I was just fascinated about, like I said, how the whole politics work and how they actually do torture prisoners of war. I mean, when they get somebody over here and they need information out of them, oh yeah, they're going to torture them. I mean, just to get, especially somebody like Bin Laden, to get information out of them. If these people aren't talking, you know, they're not just going to set them down to a nice meal and try to get them to talk. No, they're going to get information out of these people, and I love that they didn't sugarcoat it in the movie. I mean, this was hardcore torture in this film that they really showed what they do to these prisoners. And who knows, it might even be worse than what they actually showed. And what they showed was actually pretty bad. And I don't know who any of the actors or actresses are in this film either. I don't really recognize them from any other film. but the leading actress in the film, I thought she was great. Absolutely amazing job she did. And the fact that, you know, they put her on the Bin Laden case for all these years that it went on. I forgot how many years it was. It was like 7 years, I think. She was on the case or something before they tracked him down. That's all she ever did. She just did Bin Laden. That's all she ever looked for, was Bin Laden. That was her job for all those years. And if it wasn't for her, you know, they would have never found the guy. And it was just one of those really kind of inspiring films, you know, that if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, eventually you're going to either die trying or you're going to succeed. One or the other, probably. And, you know, it was just a really great film. And I didn't really find it slow at all. I mean, yeah, it wasn't action-packed, but it was more of a drama than anything else. And it was really kind of nice pace, for me anyway, to go see a movie like this, because I'm always going to see, you know, horror films or the chainsaw films or, you know, big action blockbusters and things explode and the science fiction movies and stuff. And it was really nice to go see just a hard-hitting drama that was all about the acting and the story. And that's what this was. It's all about the quest to get Bin Laden and what went down to get this guy. And I got to say, the last probably 40 minutes of this movie would have you glued to your seat. I mean, it made you feel like you were going down that compound with those SEALs and going after him. I mean, the way it was directed was so good. I mean, it was phenomenal. And yeah, I'm absolutely glad I went to go see this film, and I'm glad I didn't wait for, you know, Blu-ray or whatnot to watch it. So yeah, I have nothing really bad to say about it. It was a really good, intense, extremely well acted film that is more or less to educate you to how they found Bin Laden. So I would have to give Zero Dark 30 a 5 out of 5. And with the turn up! Quiet! If you're one of those people who are on the fence about this film, yeah, I mean, go see it. You'll probably enjoy it. If you like history and if you just want to know what happened, like really actually happened to Bin Laden, how they actually tracked him down to find him, I mean, this movie really doesn't beat around the bush. I mean, it really goes from the very beginning of when they go to track him to the very end of when, you know, they land in that compound. So it pretty much tells you everything about it. So this is actually one of the better movies I've seen. Like, it actually came out in 2012, but I just seen it now. But it's one of the better films of 2012 that I've actually watched of last year. So yeah, it's that good. So absolutely go see it. And this is a very important film for, I think, everybody to see. And it's something that nobody really should forget, you know, that happened. And how it happened is more important than anything else.